souls, Neiman Hao, and welcome back to another episode of Ignite Your Power, the Kathy Mao podcast. So I'm your host, Kathy Mao, and if you don't know who I am, I'm an empowerment coach teaching people how to live a Bliss Soft Life, which is about taking your power back, empowering yourself to be this powerful manifester. I teach people about emotional, physical, mental, and spiritual health and well-being. And so today's topic is going to be more about the spiritual side, which I always love talking about. And it's a topic that I believe is more and more common and should be talked about more and more often. So let's start off with just taking a deep breath together. So I want you to inhale peace and exhale everything else, all the negative, all the heaviness that has been going on right now. And today's episode is going to be a little heavy. It's going to be about awareness, being open-minded, being conscious of your thoughts, being conscious of how you truly are and how compassionate you are. And so the world is really crazy right now, obviously, and I'm not a political person, just throwing it out there. I believe in humanity, loving one another, and just supporting people and trying to be as open-minded as possible, even if I have certain beliefs or certain things that I don't align with other people, but just truly being more aware. And this is why I really want to talk about this subject. I feel like this is the first time I'm opening up about my thought processes and how I truly look at the world. And again, there's been so much noise in the world lately. There's a lot of fear, division, judgment, chaos. And if you're anything like me, it can feel like you're absorbing all of it. Being an empath, you feel the energy of others. You feed off of the collective energy. And the collective energy right now is madness, chaos, sadness, fear. And even when you're going on social media, there's so many people just having an opinion and throwing it out there. And there's someone always there to attack, always there to put somebody down. And that energy is just so negative and unattractive that I really was like called to do this episode. I was like, just even trying to be on social media to promote wellness or amazingness, there's always something bad or someone saying bad things about a certain topic. And I'm like wondering why? Why can't we just all get along? And it just really brought me into, man, it's because a lot of us are super closed-minded. We are so trapped in this matrix reality that we live in. Today's episode is an invitation to just soften yourself. And it's a reminder that we are more powerful than we think, especially when we choose to be conscious and open-hearted. We're going to talk about perception, the matrix of division, and how you can stay grounded, aware, and loving, even in a world that tries to pull you down in every direction or pull you in so many directions that you just get so overwhelmed, full of anxiety. And this is why a lot of people nowadays are so stressed out and sick, and so many people have cancer and chronic illnesses. It's like me. Of course, I'll be sharing why embracing the Bliss Soft Life is one of the most powerful choices you can make right now in your life. And if you don't get anything out of today's episode, just please be more aware and open-minded when listening to this. This will help you raise your awareness, raise your vibration, and be more loving and be more in your soul being. All right, let's talk about awareness. Most people are living on autopilot. They wake up, check their phones, scroll through fear-based content, absorb everyone's opinions, and by 9 a.m., they've already been programmed. Well, awareness is when you pause and become the observer of your thoughts. It's when you say, wait, is this thought really mine? Is this belief really me, or was it passed down from family, media, or fear? Our thoughts shape our emotions, it shapes our reality, and it shapes our energy. So when we live unaware, we live in reaction. But when we become conscious, we reclaim our power to choose. So I want you to start being curious and asking yourself these questions. What am I feeding my mind daily? Am I moving through life awake or asleep? Am I choosing love or letting fear run the show? And remember, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to be present. That is the foundation of awareness. And when I first heard the word awareness, I was like, what does this even mean? So I heard this first from Jay Shetty, and he was talking to Rhonda Bynes, who wrote the book The Secret, and they were talking about awareness. And I was like, what does awareness even mean? And as kept learning and tapping into spirituality, I noticed awareness is truly what your thought process is, what are your beliefs? How do you show up every day? And before I used to be so closed-minded. I feel like I'm still closed-minded in a way. I have to shed a lot of layers, like we're onion, and we have to keep shedding each piece by piece by piece or layer by layer by layer. And how I used to think was I was so caught up on one side. So in po politics, I used to be a Democratic. And now I don't even call myself a Democratic. I don't even care what parties there is. I don't even listen to the news. I don't even care at all. I mean, obviously, I care about politics, but I don't care which side is what. Like, I understand each perspective now. And this is how I know I've grown and become more aware because I can see why someone would go right and why someone would go super left. But before, I used to just hate on people on the right. And this is exactly what the Matrix does to you. The Matrix of this reality of they want you to divide and hate and just be distracted by one another because they know that love is just so powerful. And if we do come together, we wouldn't need politics, we wouldn't need presidents, we wouldn't need government because we can govern ourselves. And so this is what the Matrix is. The Matrix is to kind of think of this as a game where we are trapped in this game of reality, this human experience, and the political system is there to try to keep us down, to try to make us unaware of our own powers. And when we do actually awaken and notice, realize that we are more powerful than what we're taught and what we're believed to think, it gives away their power. So think about how amazing and powerful you are. And so this is why I believe that awareness is so important. That's why it's like opening up your mind, opening up what you truly think is your thoughts, or is it something that you were taught to believe? And just think about that and play with it. But let's go deeper because this division we see in the world is not an accident. There's a system, what some call the matrix, like I just said earlier, and that benefits from our separation. It keeps us arguing over politics, race, gender, beliefs, and distractions. Why? Because when we're divided, we are easier to control. So the matrix doesn't want you empowered. It doesn't want you questioning. It wants you reactive, angry, exhausted. And if we don't step back and become aware, we start operating from this default programming. We pick sides, we judge people who think differently, we stop listening, we stop loving. But this is the real awakening. Realizing that just because someone doesn't see what you see doesn't mean they're your enemy. They're just seeing through their own lens. And remember, everyone is shaped by their past, pain, upbringing, and fears. That doesn't make them wrong, it just makes them human. So, this division that we have is just an illusion. And the only way I feel like coming out of this is having compassion. Compassion is the cure for all of this. Compassion for one another, love for one another. And this matrix obviously is here to make us believe certain things and to keep us low vibrational. So when we're distracted, we're in fear-based and we're overwhelmed, full of anxiety. This is all low vibrational states. And what can you do at a low vibe state? Not much with your powers, not much with empowering yourself because you just don't have energy. You're just depleted at the end of the day. That's why they keep us distracted. They have these systems in place to keep us so they can control the system so that they can be in power. But remember, we all have our own powers. We each are so powerful. We just forget when we come onto this earth. And so any successful person or anybody in politics knows the secret of, it's not even a secret, but knows this knowledge of our own powers. They know that there's something greater, whatever you call it, you know that there's something more than yourself out there. You can tap into that. You can tap into that energy. You can tap into that source. When you're so depleted, you're so distracted from all the noise around you, you can't tap within you. And remember this. So when I started realizing this, that the matrix was here to divide us, it made me want to love people more. It made me want to understand them more. It made me want to just see why people spend so much time, especially on social media, attacking people. And I'm like thinking, a lot of people truly have a lot of time on their hands and they're using it not wisely. But again, it's their circumstances, it's the reality. And remember, there's like 8 billion people on Earth, and each person, 8 billion people, have different perspectives. There will be not one person that will have the same exact life experiences because their eyes and their lens and their beliefs or whatever their surroundings were are always different. And I'll give you a pure example. I'm a twin and I grew up in the same household as my sister, as my twin sister, but we had two different realities. I grew up being less than her. I grew up thinking that I was not as smart or not as beautiful as her. And being competed with her or being compared to with her, I mean, my parents didn't do it on purpose, but it's just how my reality happened. And you would think, oh, you guys are twins. You guys think and look alike and do everything alike. Our realities would be the same. No, it's completely different. She's way more confident because she had words and experiences that made her more confident sooner than later. But my experiences had to come from later in life going through infertility. So all of our perspectives comes from what life has thrown at us, what people have said to us. It comes from literally the beliefs that we have about ourselves that other people affected us or not, what they did or not, right? So that in itself should be eye-opening to you that since there's 8 billion perspectives, no one has the same. So why would you expect somebody to understand your experiences or your mindset exactly the same way? But all we can do is be compassionate for one another, see it from their perspective, understand why they think this way or why they believe this. And most of the time, it's due to beliefs taught from their parents or their outer source of school or whatever it is. But that's not their true being. Like, that's not their soul being. Everybody's soul being is from love. Everybody's soul being is pure and amazing. But slowly it chips away because Some of us is more disconnected than others from their soul being, right? But we're all this loving, compassionate being. And this is what I truly believe. And we're all high vibrational as well. Again, the system, the matrix keeps us down, keeps us in a very exhausted state. So we don't have time to work on ourselves and to become this powerful being. So, how do we rise above all of this? We have to soften, guys. So instead of hustling, always like on the go or trying to be busy with something or being distracted, we need to soften, to relax, sit down, sit back, reflect. A lot of us don't. Sit down, meditate, take time to understand yourself. Because the more you understand yourself, though, the more you can be compassionate for other people. Because the more you understand yourself, your traumas, your beliefs, you understand how it works. You understand, like, whoa, why am I so triggered? And then, whoa, if I'm triggered like this, then somebody else might be like that. So you learn from your own experiences. So it comes with being present with yourself. And nobody can teach you this true lesson only for yourself. So lean into compassion, not just for others, but for yourself. I know it's tempting to close your heart when people are unkind or intense online. I felt that too. I feel irritated and annoyed, but closing your heart is exactly what the Matrix wants because a closed heart is powerless. True strength is staying open, even when it's hard, listening to understand, not just to respond, saying, I see you, even if I don't agree with you. Softness is a radical act in a hardened world. And I want you to know it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's okay to not know what to say, but don't let that push you into hate, fear, or blame. Let it call you deeper into love, presence, and grounded action. The people who trigger you are often mirrors, showing us where we still have room to grow, forgive, or let go. So compassion is not weakness, it is the revolution. And remember, when you're doing something new, something different, it's going to be hard. But remind yourself why it's so important, why it's important to be compassionate. You want to be different. You want to change the world. You want this world to be a better place. If you truly want change, then it starts with you. So, this is where the Bliss Soft Life comes in. And when I talk about the Bliss Soft Life, I'm talking about choosing intentional peace over reactive chaos. It means starting your day with presence instead of panic, nourishing your nervous system instead of numbing it, listening with your heart, even when the world is shouting, prioritizing rest, joy, and self-love as daily essentials, not luxuries. So the Bliss Soft Life helps you stay anchored. While the world is spinning fast, you stay grounded. You become the calm in the storm. You hold space for others without losing yourself. And that's where your true power is. This lifestyle isn't about pretending the world is perfect. It's about knowing your energy is sacred. Your peace is revolutionary and your softness is your strength. So if you're here right now listening, it's because you're meant to lead with love. You're here to be a lighthouse, not to fix everyone, but to be a soft, steady presence that reminds people of what's possible. And remember, when you start working on yourself, that is one of the most powerful tools. And so when you start being the essence of the BS life, other people around you will see that. They will feel that energy. They will be attracted to it. They will start wanting to change, not even knowingly that you change yourself. You're being that example. And if everything is energy, and if you work on yourself, you're high vibrational, and someone else sees that, they're like, "Ooh, I want to match the energy. I want to feel some of that energy." Then they work on themselves. And then they start living the BS life. And then they start spreading the BS life. And then it keeps going on and on and on. But see how powerful you are by just working on yourself? You can influence thousands of people just by doing the hard work with yourself first and not changing other people's perspectives, not telling them what to do, because again, you cannot change somebody until they are ready to change. Remember that. No matter what you say, no matter what you do, if they are not ready to change, they will not change. So you have to ask the question yourself, am I ready to change? Am I ready to do the hard work? And if you're sick of seeing all this nonsense every day, you're so sick of people hating on one another, then this is your calling to start changing something within you, to start being compassionate, to start loving yourself, to start doing the inner work. And once you do, other people will see that. And that is powerful. And you don't have to go and do a grandiose thing and like be all crazy, right? And like throw up signs or whatever. All you have to do is just do it within your home or do it within your life, your time frame, whatever it is. And that's where the power lies. And that's where the matrix wants you to not have time for. So instead of thinking like, oh, everything is against me in life, it's like, oh, what is life gifting me? What is this lesson? And what am I supposed to be learning? And this is what the BS life teaches you. Isn't that such a powerful tool if you think about it? If you just live life truly, blissfully, more softer, the other people around you will live that way. And so you surround yourself with that bliss and softness. And that's what truly matters. Because there could be a million things going on in life, but what truly matters is the people around you and you surround yourself with and what type of energy that they give you. And I want the positive, good energy. I don't want that negative, low vibrational stuff. It's exhausting. I'm so over it. And I've lived with that type of energy most of my life. And I want to finally choose to pick what I want in my life. And I hope you guys can do that for yourself too. So let's anchor this in. I want to offer you some reflection prompts. Maybe journal on these. Maybe sit with them in stillness. When was the last time I judged someone for their beliefs or reactions? What fear or wound was activated in that moment? How can I choose to soften instead of react? What does living the Bliss Soft life look like for me this week? Let these questions guide you back to your truth. You don't have to shout to be powerful. You don't have to be loud to be heard by the right people. Your presence, your calm, open-hearted awareness, that's what shifts the world. And I will also put these questions in the description box below so you can go back and reflect on it too. If you can't just write this down all quick, I know some of you may be listening to this while you're driving or busy just listening. It's okay. It will be below so you can truly reflect on these powerful, insightful questions. So, if this episode resonated with you, I invite you to choose softness today. Be mindful of your thoughts. Be curious instead of critical. Be aware of how your energy is being influenced and come back home to yourself. And if you're feeling lost, overwhelmed, or unsure how to navigate these times, I invite you to book a clarity guidance reading with me. Let's tune into your energy, your truth, and what you need most right now. Living the Bliss Soft life isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Until next time, stay soft, stay grounded, and stay powerful, and go and ignite your power and live the BS life.